Hello everybody! First and foremost, I got another new camera. Y'all are probably like, you're out of your mind. But I've had that other camera, the Canon, for over a year. I've never been fully satisfied with it. It's never like fully met my needs. And I've had like several deep talks with Kurt Mega about it. And he has that same camera. And he was like, it's not a great filming camera, it's not a great vlogging camera. So it's great for some things, and I'm gonna keep it. It's an awesome photography camera, and it's still great for like sit down and chat moments. Probably a moment like this would be great with that camera. Kurt recommended this Sony, and Brian found it slightly used for like hundreds of dollars less than it normally costs. So we just went last night and got it. So I'm experimenting. Let's see how this looks, let's see how this sounds, but I figured I'd use it today because I need to reorganize some books. If you watched my Vlogmas videos, then you know that I'm in deep trouble with my husband because I stuffed this thing so full. This is supposed to be like a linen cabinet, and I started using it for some of my books because I have so many books. And then I buy more linens, like I buy more sheets. I was like, I need spring sheets, I need Christmas sheets. I want to try and consume less, and I've been doing a good job consuming less, but not good enough. I'm gonna take these books out of here and I'm gonna find new homes for them around the house. Brian is becoming a woodworker. He's becoming the man of my dreams. Just kidding. You're already the man of my dreams.
Ridiculous.
But he's learning how to work with wood, and he has big plans to make a bookshelf. But until then, I'm gonna find some homes for my books in places that already exist. So let me show you all the places that we're gonna be working with. First, we have the guest bed in the guest room. Ignore how messy it is in here. This is just the little side table in the guest bed. There's room down here for books. And since this room is kind of Jane Austen themed, I figured I might put all of my Regency era books onto here. So that's space number one. Space number two. Are you watching woodworking stuff?
Yes.
Do you see what I mean, y'all? He's committed.
I am committed, but I also haven't cut a single piece of wood yet.
That's okay. You just got your tools. You gotta watch all the YouTube videos first.
I am trying to watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Space number two. This is Brian's office. This is Brian's bookshelf. There's a lot of space here for some more books. Obviously, I would want to put books here that Brian likes or that are Brian's. So while rearranging, I'm going to keep an eye out for books that I think would go well on here. Also, there's a little bit of a color scheme. It's like brightly colored books would be nice on here. So yeah, that's space number two. All right, this is space number three, but this is just a maybe. This is a highly curated book space. Only books that are really small and can stand upright in these shelves, oops, can go here. Shit. Ah, fuck. Oh. And then I do have some books that are laying on their side, as you can see, but they're pretty highly curated. They fit a certain color scheme and or they're favorites of Brian and I. So only if I see a book that's small enough or like really fits here am I going to move it to this space. I might not touch the space at all. Space number four is underneath this hutch. Now this used to be, hold on, this camera has like a little front, I can move I can see myself. I'm looking at myself right there. So I can like see what I'm doing, unlike my other point and shoot. It's kind of exciting. Anyway, we used to only keep space themed books down here. So either science fiction or nonfiction space themed books. We have a bunch because I work at the Adler Planetarium. Brian used to work at the planetarium, and Brian loves science fiction, sci-fi, brief history of time, the physics of Star Trek, you know, the scientific revolution, all that kind of stuff. After I cleaned out my parents' house and my bedroom in my parents' house, I grabbed some of my favorite books. So I brought back actually 2 Billy Joel books and then some Shel Silverstein books. And I just didn't have a place to put them, so I put them down here. So now there's no real theme. I don't know, maybe I'll put more kids' books underneath here. You know, we have our friends' kids over. Sometimes I'll whip out some books, and maybe it'd be nice to have them all in one place up here. And then I'll just keep an eye out for other sci-fi books to add there. Space number 5, we're in the basement now. This is an old hutch from our old apartment that now lives in this basement. I've been keeping all my Louise Penny Gamache detective series books down here because I wanted to keep them together, and they're all blue. So I was like, oh, I'll put blue things on here. However, there's more room. I can reorganize this and I can add more books to it. So I thought maybe this could be a mystery / detective book space. All right, so that's area number 5, right? 5. And here we are in area number 6, just a straight up bookshelf. Also, this is a winter tree. So in case you're like, hey, you missed a spot doing Christmas stuff, it's a winter tree and it's gonna be there till April. So this is just a straight up bookshelf. As you can see, it's pretty packed to the brim. However, some of these books, like the Avatar series, are Brian's books. We have some comic books in here. These could go up to his office. I've got some mysteries in here that could go over there. I've got a bunch of children's books over here. Maybe those could go upstairs. And you know what? I have a whole book of the universe. That should be in the space themed area. I think where I'm gonna start is by pulling books out of here and reorganizing. So I can make more room for other books on here. Whew, I just got overwhelmed with this task. But you know what? I'll just take it one little step at a time, okay? All right, let's start down here. We've got Brian's Avatar books. They're really cool. They're comic books. I think they're just an extension of the show Avatar: The Last Airbender, and they can go into Brian's office. 7 Days of Us is a holiday book, and I do have a little space where I'm keeping my holiday books, so I'll just go pop that over there. This is Luca's book. Luca, are you watching this? Luca sent me this book, and it's so thoughtful. It's Charles Schulz's biography, but told in comic strip form. It's so sweet. I have not read this yet. I'm gonna add it to my summer TBR. Here we have a mystery book. I actually don't think I ever talked about this book. I read it during Christmas Carol's rehearsals, and it is fun. It's kind of not that well written. It's like another one of those cozy mystery books that is just not really a literary masterpiece, and there were typos and stuff. I think maybe I got, look, it's signed by the author. I got it used, but I'm wondering if this is like a first draft or something, because there were a lot of typos. But you know what? It's cozy and nice and fun. So anyway, this is a mystery book. I've never read this either. I'm gonna make a pile of the books I've not yet read. This is a crafting book. I think this can go into my crafting closet. The Artist's Way can definitely go into Brian's office. He's done The Artist's Way before and loved it. The Encyclopedia of the Victorian World, I think, could go into the guest room area with the Jane Austen themed stuff. Jane Austen is Regency, not Victorian, but like still that classical kind of feel might be kind of fun in that room. All right, got a bunch of kids' books now. Oh, my body. Shit. Brian's friend Brian wrote this book and illustrated it. This is a mystery and my favorite book of 2024, Most Agreeable Murder. This is a Jane Austen book. Can go in the guest room. Ooh, or does a Most Agreeable Murder go in the guest room because it's Regency? Yes. Jane Austen's. Pride and Prejudice, but with our names in the book instead of, it's me and Brian instead of Elizabeth and Darcy. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies can go in the guest room. That's funny. This is a manga version of Pride and Prejudice. Can go in the guest room. Helsinki Affair is a spy mystery thriller. This is a mystery thriller that I could not finish. I just couldn't get into it, but it is a gift from my mom. She met the author and got the author to sign it and write to me. So anytime my mom gets someone to sign something for me, it's always to Meredith Elise. That's my middle name. Anyway, I'll add it to the mystery section. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, those are mysteries. God, I loved those books when they first came out. I still haven't read this one, Girl in the Spider's Web. This is already, I'm making a lot of progress right here. This is pretty great. All right, let's have some fun. I've decided that this Murder at the Blueberry Festival, since it's tiny, it's gonna go up into my well-curated, tiny, under the TV spot. Wait, can I make this focus? I'm getting to know the camera. There we go. It's not gonna go on here. Let's see. What can we do? My one complaint about these books is that they're ugly. These are ugly colors to me. Do I really want them on the shelf? Or are they too ugly? I'm so weird. This is a nice camera. An antique camera from Brian's mom. And these are some antique books from her as well. I think I'll move these. Whoops. I I know I have more to add, but at least we got it started. Let's get these up to the guest room for the Regency themed book area. Okay, here we are in spot, what was this? Was this one? I don't remember how I numbered these. Yeah, I mean, right now I have this like decorative thingy. Not important. Not important. Do our guests need this? No. And in fact, at this point, this is old and gross. So obviously I'll keep the vase, but do our guests need a mirror? Probably. But guess where this could go? On this freaking windowsill. Look what we got. A freaking bare spot ready for a bunch of books. Let's start with this big old book. Once again, I understand this is a Victorian era book. Jane Austen is Regency. Trust me, I know. But I still think it'll go well here. These are all about the same height. That is pleasing to me. Okay, and then there's some room in front of it. What do we think of this? Is this cute? It's pretty bare bones, but it leaves room for guests to like put some stuff down there if they want. I replaced the old plants in there with a newer piece of eucalyptus. Still smells pretty good. Kind of nice, huh? Look at how clever I am. Look at how clever I am. I turned the ugly dragon tattoo books onto their side. And they're like a book stopper for the other mystery books. How cute. And then I put Pride and Prejudice clock up there. Ah, shit. So I think this is looking pretty nice. Special delivery for Brian. Oh my god, I'm gonna drop this shit. Oh. Brian has approved. So out of breath. Brian has approved my choices.
I hope that this can hold all the weight of these.
Oh, I would certainly hope so.
Well, I should certainly hope so.
I'm listening to too much
of
secret history.
Secret history. Well, I should certainly hope so, old man.
Those look nice up there.
Let's see. I'll put this with all of my other failed ambitions.
You are not failed. Looks really nice, Bri.
Swandati.
Look how many books Brian just carried down. So here's where we're at. Here's our progress. Pulled a bunch of books out. This thing is a mess, but I promise I've got
progress.
I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Okay, I went ahead and did this section while this camera was charging. I've learned that it doesn't have great battery life. I think this is pretty nice. It's all science fiction, science faction, and children's books. Random assortment, I know, but I know in my heart that they belong together because the imagination is what fuels science and curiosity. So yeah. Yeah. Okay, now here comes the point in the video where I accidentally put my camera on a setting and filmed everything in slow-mo with no sound. So I didn't know I was doing that and I filmed a ton of stuff. But yeah, this is just me showing the progress so far and all the books that I gotta put on this shelf. This is me explaining that I'm going to put my tallest books and my book of the month books on this bottom shelf because they're all the same size and that's pleasing to me. This is me talking about my Louise Erdrich books and how she's one of my favorite authors and her books look so nice together, so I'm making a little pile of those and then I'm just filling in the rest. Here I am talking about the top shelf and how I'm going to put all the Shakespeare and classical novels together. Then I made a little pile of ugly books that don't fit well together, and then I covered it up with Luca's book, and then filled in the rest. This is me showing the pile of books that I haven't read yet that I'm going to set aside. And that's it. Now it's time for a tour of all the spaces. This is me filming myself doing a little outro in front of my cute little bookcase. Obviously, I had to refilm all this. Okay, everybody, that's it for this vlog. Thank you so much for joining me, and thanks for letting me experiment with this new camera. I just learned that I filmed a bunch of stuff in slow motion, so that's why I'm refilming this. Apparently the slow motion button is right next to the record button, so I gotta be careful with my little fingies when I'm using this. That's why I'm re-recording this outro. Thank you so much for joining me for this little winter reset and for reorganizing my books. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, we are safe and sound in Costa Rica. So next week we'll have some good Costa Rica footage for y'all. Love y'all.